backstage at Creamfields with Yousef. You are playing at the Ant stage, isn't it?
That's right, really looking forward to it. It's my first Creamfields in a couple of years, so it's nice to be back on home ground, playing for a lot of my friends in the Ant Arena with a lot of my friends too.
So you are coming from Liverpool then? You are from here?
That's right. I've been from here my whole life. I live back and forward in various places, but yeah, I'm born and bred Liverpool.
Okay, would you like to tell us a little bit about, you are not only a DJ, you are also a record label owner.
Yes.
How it feels to be also a label owner, particularly in the digital age?
Well, you know, I think it's always very important these days to contribute to the scene as much as you can. So I've got a label, Circus Recordings. I've got another label called Karaoke. Obviously I've got my other events, Circus, and yeah, I do my best to contribute the best music I can in the scene, by whether it be via DJing, music, the label. But it's very hard for the label to kind of really work in 2016, but somehow we do make it happen. We have a lot of great artists on there, from as ranging as like Green Velvet to Carl Cox, new guys like Kydus and David Glass and Lewis Boardman, of course myself and Reboot and Hector, Marco Carola. So we're always pushing brand new music, and that's what it's all about.
And of course you have so huge names with you. How does it feel to work with a legend like Carl Cox?
Yeah, I mean, like, Carl's my hero, and now he's my friend, and he DJ'd at my wedding.
Wow, that was wonderful.
He was the best set I've ever seen. So you know, to have someone like that on the label, and like he inspires me not just as a DJ but just as a person. So yeah, it's I'm very, very proud to have him as part of our team.
And would you like to tell us a little bit about your events? Do you carry on having them? When are organized?
Yes, Circus has been in Liverpool for 14 years. We have events in London, Barcelona. We tour all around different places. It's been very successful over the years. Like, we just won DJ Magazine Club of the Year, which was really good fun. We've won other awards over the years, which has been nicely accepted. We have people like Loco Dice, Martinez Brothers, Richie Horton, Carl Cox, Green Velvet. Like, everyone in quality underground house and techno has played for Circus at some point. Well, at least once a month. We have giant events in Manchester as well. We just done the Park Life Festival, which was a 10,000 arena, just one arena for us. So it's been great, you know, to for what is a hobby, what started as somewhere for me to DJ in Liverpool as my own residency has grown into something that is still just as authentic, but it's now on a bigger scale.
And so you describe your sound as pure techno. Do you like that, or it's something like between tech house? Because usually techno now sounds also as house as well, has some house elements, is it?
Well,
to become more accepted for a more mainstream maybe audience.
For me, you know, the ultimate message of everything that we do is house music. Everything's got the heartbeat of house, whether it be techno, furious techno, or super deep. Everything's got if it's authentic music and you believe in it, it's house music. Now, I play sometimes deep, sometimes pretty hard, usually a mix of both. Sometimes I'd say it's quite colourful. I play on 4 decks. I don't really play too many vocals sometimes, but every record that I play, it matters to me, which is what's important.
So the festival DJ set is different from a club DJ set, a more intimate DJ set?
Yeah, today, I mean, I'm expecting, or looking forward to actually really kicking it out. I've been in my studio all day kind of going through loads of new music, doing some edits, and look, I'm only playing for an hour and a half as well, which is quite a short set. So I'm expecting the room to be full, and I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to play quite big records and play quick, and we'll just see how it goes. Maybe the room doesn't need it. Like, I'm not one of those DJs that turns up with like a set. I've got a rough plan. I've got maybe 150 records I want to play, and we'll see.
And would you like to tell us a little bit about any new releases that you may have, any remixes that are coming?
Yes, always new stuff coming out with me. I've just remixed a band from Germany called The Glitz. It's coming out on Voltage Music. track called Nice Guys, which is doing really well. Prior to
this is from Germany, is it?
Germany, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Glitz, and before that I remixed Shaka Khan, which was like a real kind of privilege. I was really happy to do that. Next 2 EPs, I've got an EP coming out on my label called Circus Recordings, which is with me, Hector, Reboot and Lewis Boardman. It's like a 3-track collab EP. Then music on Jamie Jones's Hot Tracks, with an EP there. Then another EP for Jamie. 1 EP for Davide Squillaci, which I'm looking forward to. And then I must have 20 more records I need to kind of find homes for. But I make music most days, and I'm really kind of meticulous. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff, and hopefully it'll be out all in 2017.
Do you produce very easily then? Do you find easy to produce? If you have so much stuff, do you have a lot of inspiration? What inspires you?
The way I make music, I usually sit down and just go. I don't think I've got to make this record for this label, or I want this DJ to play my track, which sometimes is a good idea, but I think it closes your own personal opportunities. So I sit down and make music and then develop it. There's one thing I don't do is rush my music, believe it or not. Even though I've got like 20 records on my hard drive, I just take my time, and because I do it all myself, I can for example yesterday I've got this techno record I made called 8, and it's quite fierce, but I started it about 2 months ago and just went back and I've added a few more bits and let it breathe, and then maybe I'll add another drum loop, or I'll overdub the final wav, and then it'll come together when it's ready. That's one thing I've learned over the years is don't rush it, man. Don't rush it, because it's going to be what's going to represent you for the rest of your life.
Do you think that various music genres have taken more time to do them? Like, for instance, if you do techno, it's easier or it's more difficult because it's deep and has different textures? Which style do you think is the most difficult to produce?
Well, it depends on the producer. Now, if there's someone who's been making music for 20 years, it might be really easy to make a record, but with all the history and knowledge, like someone like Dennis Ferrer, he's been making music for 20 years, and he's a master, but he will take 4 months to make one track because he's got so much knowledge that he wants to kind of make sure that it's meticulous and slowly done and it's right. Whereas someone who maybe doesn't have the experience might make a record quite quickly and it sounds good and it works, but has it got that dynamic range? Is it kind of finished to the best it can be? And these days it's difficult to spend months and months and months on a record when you know it's going to be gone in a week. Sometimes it's going to be gone in 2 weeks. So it's kind of it's catch-22, which is why making music should be for yourself, and because it's only going to be you that's really going to love it forever.
Do you test out all your records?
I try to. I've got eventually, because like I say, sometimes I'll make something super deep, and sometimes I'll make something that's pretty banging. There's times when I know, okay, this record's ready and I know it's going to work, so I'll play it. I've got a couple at the moment, one called Noir, one called Black and Acid, one called Mexico City, and I know they're bangers and I know they're going to work in the right environment. But whereas I've got other records maybe a bit more kind of meticulous. I've got one record called Life Is Too Short, which is a big cinematic, really moving record. I think it's an important one for me anyway, but I'm not really playing it out so many times just because it's a story record.
Oh yes.
But hopefully I might try and play it tonight.
Okay, and would you like to remember your most favorite Creamfields memory? You have a very special memory from this festival?
I would say probably my first Creamfields, when it was in the other site and Speak. I'd been once before, but I'd never played there before. And the first ever time I played, I was put on the main stage live on Radio 1, and they were just like, "Come on, go and play." And I was kind of about 22, and I was quite young, and it was my first time. And anyway, there was like 20,000 people in front of me, and I had to play live on the radio, like a million people listening. And the best thing that happened, and it was all vinyl, three decks. When I was playing, the record skipped. And instead of getting worried, I remember I flicked the record a little bit and made it into kind of a half beat behind, and I made it into a crescendo, pulled it out, and then the track kicked back in, and it went off. But my point is, it was the fact that I was composed, and I was on a really big stage, and I was only young, but I felt like I was ready, you know. So that's why it was important to me.
Thank you so much for this wonderful interview. If we had time, we could speak for hours. You are a history on your own of your music. Good luck in your DJ sets tonight, and it's wonderful that you represent this beautiful city that has so much music heritage like Liverpool.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and good luck with everything yourself.